everyone, we're Tim and Shannon. And this is Hornblower, our beloved Baba 40 that we've spent the last 7 years renovating and is now our home as we sail around the Caribbean. One of the things we looked forward to as we started on our adventure was getting to invite friends and family out to visit us on the boat and experience some of the amazing things that we get to experience. As we found our sea legs and started getting accustomed to life at sea, we decided it was time, so we made plans with our good friend Carol to fly out for a visit. We were still making our way down the Exumas, so we decided she should fly into Georgetown on July the 7th to give us time to get there. One of the tricky things about having guests come to visit is the timing. We typically don't stay in one place for very long, and because we're dependent on the weather, it's hard to say we'll be somewhere by a certain date. But we made it to Georgetown on July the 1st, in plenty of time to get the lay of the land, so to speak. We anchored in a prime spot just in front of the Chat and Chill, stocked up on some much-needed provisions, and tidied up the boat in anticipation of her arrival. The Exuma Airport is about a 20 to 30 minute drive from the dinghy dock in Georgetown, so Carol took a taxi in and then Tim picked her up in the dinghy. We quickly got Carol acclimated and introduced her to our buddies at the Chat and Chill. We spent some time snorkeling and walking the beaches. We then decided to go on a tour up the Exuma Islands with Roberts Tours. By taking the fast motorboat, we were able to show her a lot of what we experienced on our sail down the Exumas, but all in one day versus weeks. We cruised past celebrities' islands, such as Musha Key, home to David Copperfield and his sunken piano, Goat Key, where you can purchase Tim McGraw and Faith Hill's Island Paradise for a cool $35 million, and Bot Key, made up of 8 private islands owned by the Fry's Electronics family. First stop on the tour was a stop in Staniel Key to snorkel Thunderball Grotto. Next up, feeding the pigs at Pig Beach. Then on to swim with the sharks at Compass Key. We then got to spend some time on this gorgeous sandbar. And then finally, we stopped at Leaf Key to feed the iguanas. After a full day of touring the Exumas, we decided that the next day would be a chill day. But before Carol headed back, we wanted to check out some more of Great Exuma Island and decided to rent a car for the day. Our adventures on land took us over the bridge to Little Exuma to check out the Tropic of Cancer Beach, aptly named as the Tropic of Cancer runs right through it. Then on to Santana's to enjoy lunch with a view in the spot that Johnny Depp and Orlando Bloom hung out while filming Pirates of the Caribbean. Right next door is Mom's Bakery, and of course we couldn't pass that up, so bought some sweet treats for dessert. Carol's last night here happened to be on Bahamas Independence Day, so we got to enjoy the fireworks show from the boat. And before we knew it, it was time for Carol to head home. Carol left relaxed and replenished from her time here, and our hearts were full from her visit. Our initial plan was to continue sailing from Georgetown to the Turks and Caicos, and my daughter and son-in-law bought tickets to meet us there. However, due to our lightning strike, we had to stay put for a while, so they changed their tickets to fly into Georgetown. Since the visit with Carol seemed to go so well, we decided to repeat it. Starting with them meeting our friends at Chat and Chill. And then doing some snorkeling. We then repeated the fast boat tour as well. Our first stop again was snorkeling at Thunderball Grotto. We then headed over to feed the pigs. Katie found a pig that had had enough of swimming and decided he just needed a belly rub. And then Katie almost collided with this big old fella. The last time we were here, we saw some stingrays in the water, but this time, something a bit more menacing. Next stop, Compass Key to feed the sharks. This time around, we were there at high tide, and a lot of the sharks swam right up on the dock to do some sunbathing. And before we left, we made sure to leave a reminder of our visit there. We then went to the sandbar to enjoy some cold beverages. On the way back, we made a stop to snorkel the piano in front of David Copperfield's island at Mooshea Key. On our trip with Carol, the current was really strong, so it was more of a kind of a float by instead of an actual snorkel. But today, the water was a lot calmer, and we got to spend a little bit more time exploring around. We also took a quick drive through Turtle Cove to feed some turtles. And last but not least, feeding the iguanas at Leaf Key. The next day, we rented a car and again headed to the Tropic of Cancer Beach. We then stopped at Santana's for lunch and a photo op in the big chair, along with a few cocktails, and back to Mom's Bakery for some sweet treats. We then headed north to Hooper's Bay to swim with the turtles.
And even though no one can tell, I still feel that I'm alone. I'm alone. I'm alone. I'm alone. Leave me stranded, I know how to handle it all on my own. On my own. I have learned that no one else can carry this load. It's a train where I'm the only passenger on board. Oh, there is beauty too.
And and just relax and enjoy the beautiful blue water.
But even so, I still feel that I'm alone. I'm alone. I'm alone. I'm alone.
But we also took some time to enjoy some of the local restaurants. Play some board games, and just relax in the gorgeous water. Because my daughter is artistic and I'm not, she created this super awesome mobile for us to hang along the cruiser's art walk. We really enjoyed checking out all of the super crafty artwork left by fellow cruisers. While Katie and I enjoyed the art trail, Carrie went on his first pole spear fishing trip with Tim and Gerard, scoring our first lobster of the season. But the highlight of their visit was probably the day that we were returning from the store in the dinghy, and as we pulled up to the boat, we noticed a fin swimming around. We sacrificed Carrie to determine if it was a shark or a dolphin. Luckily, it turned out to be a dolphin, and we grabbed our masks and jumped in with him, clothes and all. The dolphin seemed as curious as we are as he swam around our boat, peeked at us swimming next to him, and kept swimming. While we've seen other dolphins in the area, this is the only time one has hung out at our boat and allowed us to swim with him. And before we knew it, it was time to say goodbye to the Dolphin and to Katie and Carrie. Our final guest was our friend Lee, who actually helped us as crew when we brought the boat from Kemah, Texas to Key West, Florida. Lee lives on his sailboat back in Texas and is no stranger to life at sea. Lee's goal was to just relax and unwind, and we did just that. Spending time on the beach, time in the water, and time with friends enjoying good food and even better company. We were even privileged to get to celebrate Lee's birthday with him, so we think we helped Lee accomplish the goal of his visit. If you're not used to boat life, spending a vacation on someone's boat may not be your cup of tea. While our boat does have 2 bedrooms, it can still be tricky trying to maneuver around each other. We do a pretty good job with our power and water consumption when it's just the 2 of us, but adding a guest into the mix that's not used to that means we have to make water a bit more often and really watch our power. We also have limited space in our fridge, so meal planning can be a bit tricky, especially when you can't just jump in the car and run to the grocery store. So having said all that, what's the verdict? Will our guests come back for a second visit? We definitely hope they will.